Hey guys, this is Matt from Savage Wraps and SavageWraps.com. Normally we specialize in vinyl and vehicle wraps, but today we're going to be doing something a little different. We ordered this Plastidip kit from dipyourcar.com and we're going to be testing it out on a Honda Element. So I'm just going to show you what's in the kit here. There were 4 gallons of Plastidip, 1 white and 3 black, but we already have the 3 black ones in the back, setting that up. And it also came with some finishing sprays. This one would give it a glossy white finish. This one will give it more of a smoky look, and there's one in here that'll give it a metallic look. And here's some paper that you can use to cover up the windows and mirrors. So we're gonna head over to the back and set it up. All right, we're in the garage now. Just wanted to show you the Honda Element before we begin the Plastidip process. So you can see we got all the windows and mirrors covered up, and we also made sure we covered up the entire garage so spray doesn't get everywhere. So as you can see, it's silver. By the time we're done, it should be black. So we'll see how it goes. So right now, we just finished up the second coat and just about to apply the third coat. We're trying to get the spray on as even as we can on the hood and the body. And here's a shot of the roof after 2 coats. One thing to watch out for is getting little dust specks onto the car while you're spraying. You might have to take that off and recoat that. We tried using the spray cans, but sometimes it comes out in larger clumps than we would like, so we're using a sprayer attachment. But overall, looking pretty good. You might want to watch out for accidentally brushing up against the car while you're walking around it, because the Plastidip is very sensitive at this point, and if you scratch some off, then you're going to have to take it off and start over because it'll be pretty uneven. But about to put on the third coat, and we'll see how that goes. All right, we just finished our third coat. Things are coming together pretty well. Maybe 1 or 2 issues here or there. Gonna go check out the roof. Looking pretty sweet so far. There's some inconsistencies, but it's only our third coat, so we'll try to even those out in the next coats to come. You can see some of the patterns here that the spray leaves, especially over here on the hood. But like I said, hopefully we can smooth it out with the next coats. Hopefully we can get a light back here for the next time. But all in all, not too bad, considering it's our first time trying this out. Ooh, I do see a couple spots that we missed, like back there. But when you're done with a coat, you should always make sure to walk around and make sure you didn't miss any spots, or check for dust. Because if you mess up, then you'll need to start all over in that section at least. That's just a waste of Plastidip. But yep, we're gonna need 6 coats, and we're about halfway there. So we'll check in the next time. So we just finished up the 5th coat in most areas. The 6th coat actually for places like the roof up here. One of the major issues we ran into was the hose attachment actually came off and sprayed a big blotch of Plastidip all over right here. We couldn't clean it up, so what we had to do was use the kit that Plastidip provided to clean it up. And also the door right here was really uneven to the point where we couldn't fix it and just had to start over. So taking off the Plastidip was fairly easy. It's just frustrating that we have to start all over again. But hey, mistakes happen. It's our first try. Hopefully we won't run into these issues later on if we try this again. And hopefully we have enough Plastidip to recoat these sections, because I think we just got enough to cover the whole car without any issues. So we'll see how that goes. and we'll check in next time. All right, so it's around 2 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna leave some of the plastic up here in the garage to prevent dust from collecting. It's a phenomenon that we didn't make as many mistakes for our first time. Phenomenal that we did not make as many mistakes for our first time. So, stepping onto this bench right here, you can. The roof has around 9 coats, and the body of the car itself has 6 to 7 coats. And as you can see, we were able to redo the door and the quarter panel back there on the other side. So we barely had enough Plastidip to cover the entire car. Probably had 3 gallons, I believe. So gonna head home tonight, let it dry, and begin the peeling process. All right, so it's the next morning. I'd say around 7 hours since we finished spraying. We started taking off the masking tape and the paper off the windows. You can see over here. One of the big issues we actually ran into, though, was we didn't realize when we were taping up the windows that the masking tape actually went a little past it. So when we sprayed the Plastidip on, it got caught onto there. And when we took the tape off, it actually forced some of the Plastidip off and made a pretty sizable hole. So we had to take the whole thing off, all the Plastidip off this panel. We're going to have to respray that. So when you tape up your windows, try to make sure that it doesn't go past the windows, and actually I'd say it'd be safe to leave about an inch of window exposed because it's easy to get the Plastidip off. But going to take this outside, let it dry a bit more, and finish taking off the paper. Alright, was able to get all the masking off of the Plastidip vehicle. In hindsight, it would have been better to have 4 gallons instead of the 3 that we had. 3 was barely enough to cover the whole thing, but basically, since we had to redo the door over here, having that extra gallon would have helped make it more consistent on this side of the car. And same with the quarter panel. Rushing through it and not having enough Plastidip shows off the inconsistencies of it, which will probably be more evident once we take it outside. But all in all, not bad, but not good either. But it is our first time, so taking that into consideration, I'd say it went pretty well. The next time, if we decide to do this, it'll probably turn out a lot smoother. So we probably don't have to do things like redo the door or this panel up here due to taping up the windows incorrectly. But we're going to pull it outside and see how it looks from there. So was able to get the Plastidip vehicle outside, and it's been curing for about 30 hours now, which should be more than enough. I've actually already driven it through the rain because it did rain yesterday. As you can see, there's a scratch over here. So you got to be careful. You don't want to get your fingernails on it or any small scratch because you can't really clean that out. It'll stay there forever. Like I said earlier, to be safe, you should get 4 gallons because 3 wasn't enough. We barely covered it, but we did make mistakes like having to redo the door, so that 4th gallon is just there for in case of emergencies, like we needed it. So if you think you're going to do it perfectly, then go ahead and get 3, but 4 is always the safe side, and I'd even say 5 if you have a white car, just to make sure that you completely cover everything. Overall, it went fairly well, and I'd only recommend this if you're going to do it for the short term, like spiff it up for a car show or something, because over time the scratches will become more visible. So get it if you don't plan on touching your car. Alright, and that concludes this video, the Plastidip. Thanks for watching. Peace out.